Hello, hello, and welcome to the LDM Show. Hope you guys had a good week. Uh, to top it off, we're going to be speaking today. Are we destroying our kids' lives? I got a topic of things that shouldn't be done in a wedding or in a wedding ceremony, and we might be able to talk about some wrestling talk as well. So all these things we're going to be trying to squeeze in within this hour of the show. But we got to hit it off with a word on the street first before anything else. So here is. All right. Well, word on the street so far, Madison, Wisconsin can finally sell cookies and bake stuff from their house without a license. Whippy Yahoo! Like, I didn't even know this was a thing unless you were trying to do some business. If you're trying to do some business, then, yeah. Oops, my bad. If you're trying to do a business, then you need a license. But to sell that a little quarter cupcake and stuff like that, I didn't even know you needed a license, but I guess they do. Also, to go down on the two dumbest criminals. This is not even the top of the line. To me, this is like maybe number 3. So there has to be two more that's dumber than these people. But in Florida, 2 burglars robbing a house calls 911 to help them with the stuff they were stealing because it was too heavy. Let me say that again. 2 people in Florida arrested after one of them called 911 to get help with moving their belongings from the home that they were burglarizing. You're the dumbest criminal I ever seen. That was the stupidest thing seriously? You actually thought you were going to get away with this? And the cops, first of all, was not going to help you move nothing. They're not moving companies. Right away they knew something was suspicious. So they helped them bring it downstairs, and then they told the guys to come into the car and wait in the car while they get somebody else to help them. So they dumb and went into the police car as well. So no, y'all 2 times dumb. But that's what's up. Is it in the water in Florida or something? Because that's where a lot of the dumb criminals come from. I don't know what's going on. Also, they are trying to bring bathrooms back to the MTA here in New York City. Because back in the days, if you were to watch a lot of movies, like The Matrix and all that, they went into the bathroom that was in the subways. They took them all off because people were either getting mugged in there or mostly shooting up. They were using drugs in the bathrooms. So now they're going to bring it back. Let's see how that's going to work. I don't know. What, they're going to start living in the bathrooms now? You got them living in the subways. So you're just moving them from the subways to the bathroom. I don't think that's a good idea, but they're saying it helps people that need to go on the go, if you know what I mean. You should have gone before you left the house. Your mother never told you that? Go use the bathroom. We're leaving. You better use it now before we go outside. You know what I mean? Hold it. Mama said, lock my. That's all I got to say. You know what I mean? But, we're gonna talk a little bit about a little things. But I did say that I was going to watch a movie. So we did watch Puss in Boots or little kitty cat with boots. 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5. I enjoyed it because I was with my son and we were watching it, and he enjoyed a little bit about it. But I missed the original sarcastic joke lines and stuff like that. That's what I missed. I did like the concept of the show. People do change. Maybe that's what they were going for, but I don't know. I was already psyched. Probably that's why. If I wasn't psyched to watch it, then I probably would have liked it even more. But I was like, okay, what joke's he going to say and what he's going to do, But at least they bring back the little kitty cat eyes. I like that. They kept that going. You can't say no to the kitty cat eyes. You know, when they put that little sad eyes like a little kid, you can't say no to that. You know. So Will Davis, our good friend here, he said he liked the fighting scene at the end with the. Now, if I'm spoiling it, you had almost two weeks to watch it. So, uh, the fighting scene was cool. The concept of him meeting someone and actually helping people, even though he really does help people, but sarcastically. But this time he really helped people. Good movie. Still good to watch. I'm not too sure if it's good to waste money in a movie theater. That I don't think it is. Watching it in your house, yes, definite. Pull your popcorn, your sodas and all your little munchies and sit down and watch it. Perfect. So check that out. But not the movies. Don't watch it in the movies. What else is coming out in the movies? Matrix. They're thinking about coming back out with another one. Not too sure if that's going to work because Keanu Reeves is already making his other movie. What's the name of that movie, Will? John Wick. So I don't know how it's going to work. Unless he's going to do it, he's going to start filming right after John Wick or filming both of them. March, right? Yeah. It comes out in March. I want to see his stunts. Because they said he's doing some stunts on there, and he's a cool person. So what's going on? Hello, Rosa. So that's coming out. Shazam Part 2 is coming out. So these are things that are coming out. Wonder Woman, but it might be changed, I heard. They're going to probably bring her someone else. No? They're not going to change her? Or she's going to be her clone? Oh, okay. Well, I heard from the expert, he said no third one in the works right now, but we'll see what's going on. Also, Aquaman is coming out. So Marvel and again, we don't watch it for Jason. We don't care for Jason. That's why the girls watch it. And the ones that want to be girls, they watch it. But men, we watch it for we watch it for the plot and the fighting. If you put explosives and fighting and all that, you got a lot of men, I don't. Well, not even a plot. As long as you have explosive and people killing and shooting, we're good. The girls, they got to throw him, Jason, coming out the water with no shirt. That has to be in there. That's at least 3 or 4 clips of that. You know what I'm saying? And in slow motion. They don't even do it fast for the girls to watch. That's a slow motion attitude right there. And a couple other movies coming out, but definitely watch it. Since a lot of people have Hulu and Netflix and all that, Ben watched some of the old movies. Like, I don't know, Will, have you heard of Grimm? We just heard about that, and we've been watching it. It's pretty good. Hey, yeah. Yeah, it was. Yeah, well, that's why I was watching Supernatural. But look, we got right here, Sam and Dean. Oh yeah, look at that. We were just talking about stuff like that. But anyway, this lady here, if you guys know her. Oh, it's raining. I thought you were just running and sweating. It's not raining. It's pouring. Can we get what's the producers out here? Can we get some wipes out here? Damn. We low budget. We don't even got a makeup artist in this place. Like, you know what I'm saying? She's soaking wet. They just say, get on the stage. It don't matter. Oh, wow. I didn't even know that. But I was telling them the movies to watch. Watch out for a couple of the good movies that are coming out. Like Aquaman and all that is coming out. Yeah. Also, Guardians are coming out. They did their Christmas one. But they also coming out. Guardians of the Galaxy. And talking about Guardian, Batista just made a little, what's it? Is it a horror movie or is it a thriller? It's a horror movie. Batista just made a horror movie. So, yeah, he's doing good. He's good. Yeah, well, now he's the actor. I turned it on and she turned it right back off.
You did that.
Yeah, Batista's doing his thing. And I was this old, and then I found out that Batista was half Filipino. I never knew that. I never knew that. Rosa, that his mother was gay? No, I didn't even know that too. See?
Don't ask me nothing about nobody who ain't me. That's all I got.
That's all you gotta say. But it's been a good week with movies that are coming out. So, hopefully we'll do good. We're just speaking about changing the website, so we might be having a blog that Will's gonna be doing. So watch out for that, and we'll tell you like some of the movies and stuff like that.
Yeah, he was really good at Will's review.
Yeah, Will's review. But we got caught up with so many projects that like it's kind of hard. So we might come back and just do it online.
I feel you.
As a blog. But anyway, other than that, I was telling them about the 2 stupid criminals. Do you want to hear this?
What?
I'm going to repeat it because it's so stupid that I can't even believe it happened. 2 criminals go in to burglarize a house. One of them calls 911 for the cops to help them bring out some of the stuff.
Did they actually help them?
Oh, yeah, they did. They bring them downstairs, and then they told the 2 criminals, can you wait in the car while we wait for more people to come and help?
So did they steal the stuff, or they?
No, they went into the police car to wait for more cops to come.
To help and steal. Help. Oh, so like
that was the line they gave them, and they went into the car and drove them to the jail.
Oh, man.
So you was dumb enough to call them to think that they were going to help you with the things and not ask questions, and then you were dumb enough to get into the car.
That's true. They willingly gave themselves up.
Yeah, it was stupid, very, very stupid. But we're gonna get into the good conversation here. So hopefully y'all can chime in and talk. I'm gonna share some of this.
That's like, matter of fact, last week someone in Brooklyn stole $300,000 in cash.
No, CB, they stole the money in the way that, if you guys remember, I think it was it
the Looney Tunes?
No, was it this guy Fortune, Back to the Future, that he walked? Was it? Hey, Will, do you remember a movie that the guy just walked and took a bag of money from the truck? Was it Back to the Future? No, right?
I don't think so either.
It was an older movie that I watched that the guy just walked up and they were doing something and walked up and grabbed the bag and just kept on going. This is what we remind me of.
That's
that it was like a movie. He just walked up and grabbed $300,000 and kept on going.
Yeah, like 2 friends distracted the Brinks worker.
Yeah, and he just kept on going.
$300,000, man. What I would do with that money.
And wow, this was like the first bank robbery in
a long
years.
Time.
Oh my God! People that like, what bank you robbing? This one? Well, are you stupid? Like, you know what I'm saying? So they figured, I can't physically go into the bank.
Right.
I'll get them before they get to the bank.
True.
So, and they can't rob the truck because the truck is too hard to rob unless you're trying to do Inspector Gadget type of thing.
Right.
So they did it smart.
Trying to do the Sandman from Spider-Man.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you did it smart. So, kudos to you, and that's the way to go. But I'm going to send it over here because I want this conversation to go a little bit. So I'm texting everybody that I know, especially the females.
What's the topic?
Well, we're talking about today, are we screwing up our kids' futures? Which I can say yes. There's a video that was going viral, and I thought I saved it, but now I can't find it. Sweet 16. Yes, it is a step. I say a step to womanhood. People will be like, "Oh, it's an introduction to womanhood." No, even introduction is still a step to womanhood. It's not. You're not a woman, so there are still things that Sweet 16 should not be doing. Well, this Sweet 16 had, how you have you and your girlfriends and your best friends do some kind of dances or performance. Well, they had her and about 4 or 5 other girls twerking and doing sexy dance like they in a strip joint, with a bunch of guys watching, females there, you know what I mean? And then they bring 3 of their male friends and put them on a chair And then they did a type of lap dance and thing. Where was the father? Because I know the father was not there, and if the father was there, you're stupid or whipped. Because I would have been punching people. What the? Get your party over.
Yeah, that's not a good idea. Hey, Jay Sam.
Hey, Jay, how's it going? 16. I don't care. You're introducing into a womanhood. So even
not only that, but sex is not part of. That's not part of being a no.
No.
That shouldn't even be included.
No. Even the father and daughter dance is elegant, and like you're passing it on. Like, okay, now I see you as a teenager growing into a woman, right? Even that. So if you are what we call graving and twicking and twerking and you know how the old people be saying you be twicking and twerking and all this other stuff on where there's men involved there and everything. No, you're still not a woman.
Yeah, isn't that a kind of like pedophilia?
I'm telling you. And then if you take a video of it, ain't that child pornography?
I mean, if they're not naked,
it falls into place, though, right?
I guess it
because you don't have
how sexual they were getting.
Yeah, because that's people that got in trouble by sending pictures of girls with bikinis, but they had thongs, so they called it child pornography. So ain't this a child pornography? If you're twerking and wearing these skimpy clothes on a Sweet 16, and people, and then they had them. What the whole thing was, I couldn't even pass the first 30 seconds.
Oh my God!
Because I was already pissed.
Bad?
I was already pissed watching the video.
Nah, yeah,
and then you bring 3 guys to lap dance on them.
Yeah, I don't know.
On a Sweet 16. The parents needed to go to jail, get smacked. That's what they needed to do. That's why we're talking about today about failing our kids. Like, are we giving our kids a bad future? And
for sure.
Things like that, you already gave them a bad future.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because right there, to some of the guys, she's going to think all these guys like me. No, they like to do you. There's a big difference. Like to be with you and like to do you, those are 2 different levels.
That's true.
And if you're doing all this and on the floor, the guy wants to do you. He doesn't even want to know who you are. He doesn't want to know who you're about. He just wants to do you.
You know what's funny? Before I came here, I was watching a documentary. It's called "What the Bleep Do We Know?" It's on YouTube if you're interested in it. And it was talking about like the quantum physics of like the humans and our mind and the way it works. And it was explaining how our bodies become addicted to certain chemical reactions. All the cells in our bodies have receptors on them for the hormones in our bodies. So certain emotions, they are different kinds of chemical reactions. And being addicted to sex is one of those stimuluses. Yeah. And I've figured out, growing up over time, like if you get addicted to things like that, or you think things like that are okay at certain ages, you've definitely been exposed to sex at a very, very like early age, and you think that this stimulation is something that's good for you, and it's not.
Not even introduced to sex. It's just introduced to like us teenagers as a boy. 13, 14-year-old, there's a lot of boys that have been in the bathroom a little too long. You know what I mean? So, and that was solo sex. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, a lot of girls stay in their bedroom cleaning for a long time. Solo sex. So, it happens, but when, especially a male sexual beings, no matter what. So if you're having your teenager there doing all this, and then you're going to get mad because they looking, there's a problem. There's a problem in there. So no matter what, it's going to be, the solution is don't have your kids do what adults supposed to do.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But we go from a Sweet 16 to a wedding. We're saying don't do what adults do. But what if you're doing this at a wedding? You want to put that picture up? You have your butt out.
That's the bride?
That's the bride. And the rest of the bridesmaids have their butt a little out. And you're lap dancing on your husband. And everybody's seeing. And I didn't want to put the video up because this is not an X-rated show.
Right.
That video, go watch the video. For the guy, I don't know if I would like it. Hello, I'm going to see that every day.
Right.
You know what I mean? But is he really probably looking at the wife, or he's trying to look at the bridesmaid in the corner, in the side like this? Because the bridesmaids were in front of her doing the same thing. Listen, I'm going to be seeing you for the rest of my life. This girl, number 3, look good. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. That's petty.
I'm just saying. I'm just thinking as a
Hey,
bride, like,
that's I would say that's a pretty good test to see if your man is loyal.
she. Now you got all the guys looking at that, talking about, whoo, slip up, homie. I'm gonna take it. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. And a lot of the people are in the fence about it. Some people are like, oh, they're adults, mind your business. No, there's certain things you do publicly, and there's certain things you do privately. You want to give him a lap dance? Give him a private lap dance. Or if you wanted to give him a lap dance so bad, then put one of the bridesmaids. I don't know. But you know what I'm saying? That was a little too much. Especially they had kids at the wedding.
They did?
They had kids at the wedding.
Man.
It was not an all-adult type of thing.
Yeah, that's kind of a lot.
So you had kids at this wedding. So now other girls are saying, I should do that on my wedding.
No.
Will said they should. Yeah, I don't mean, I can be the, how you call it, the stunt
DJ.
double.
Oh.
You know what I mean? He tags me in and I sit on the chair.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Because we don't want him to get the heart attack. So I come in and I'm helping him out. You know what I mean? So, but you can
How
imagine
convenient, huh?
the speech that the bridesmaid or the best man has to say.
My girl.
You know, at first, I didn't really know if she was going to be good for you. I was battling it out. And then I started liking her. But today, yeah, she showed me a whole new side of her that I really know she's going to be good for you. I wish I could see the rest of the stuff. What speech are you going to give after a booty shaking like that?
I would say, girl, I wish everyone looked like you. No.
Yeah, right? She was not bad looking. She was a little thick.
Maybe she's a stripper. That's why she's
Maybe
so
he married the
comfortable.
stripper. We don't know. I don't know the whole story, but will you do something like, what's next?
Hell no.
Having a bed there and be like, okay, we're gonna make this
We're
marriage.
commemorate this marriage right here and now.
While you watching. No, I don't know. I don't know about all that.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like they have problems.
Big problems.
Maybe that's my opinion, but there's no reason why that should even reach a public room like that, especially if it's a room with like your family. Like,
Yeah. And any of you guys watching, would y'all do something like that? I don't know.
hell no.
I don't know. What? Oh, my bad. Scott said, so much for a lady on the streets and a freak in the bed. Thank you, Scott. Johnny said, yo. But Will, Will, I'm not even going to ask Will. We're going to be like, shoot, I better have cameras all over the place on that one. Will have, like, I don't know if it was a surprise, like she just gave the surprise to her husband. Do what? I just tuned in. Well, Johnny got the perfect name, right? Johnny Come Lately. No. Johnny from, show that picture again. We're talking about, will you give a lap dance to your husband on your wedding ceremony? And then there's kids involved. In front of your mama. His daddy was like, girl, why you didn't do that when we were that young? You know what I mean? Like, can you still do that?
Yo,
There's kids involved. The bridesmaid were twerking and doing all this with their butts out too. So they all had thongs and everything. I don't know if I would do that for a wedding. I would be in a wedding like that. I'll watch, but not my wedding. You know what I mean?
You feel comfortable watching? I feel like that's so awkward for everyone else
Listen,
there.
Johnny said no. I'll blame it on, I'm a media, so I got to record. This is a story. And then they'd be like, where's it going to air? Don't worry about where it's going to air at. Right? You heard of the hub, right? You heard of the hub? Put the first name on that one, and you know where it's going to be aired at. You know? Use your brain. It'll be on the video with the 3 little X's.
That's sad.
You know?
See, but that's what I'm saying. A wedding, it shouldn't be like thought of that way. Like, it's a wedding.
It's a wedding. It's supposed to be like, oh, that's the... Now they're going to be like, oh, that's why he married her. You know what I mean?
Literally.
Like, literally, that's why he married her. So when she get
Clearly,
old,
she didn't wait till marriage.
I wouldn't even go to a wedding like that. Johnny, you wouldn't? Well, you probably get in trouble, too, you know what I'm saying? A married man would not probably go, you know, or accidentally, he'd be like, listen, I didn't know what it was.
I got
just
invited.
went. I got invited to the wedding,
We
you know.
worked together.
Yeah. Listen, yeah, okay, I did go to a couple of the rehearsals, but I really never got to see this. I thought they were just dancing. Yeah. So they had clothes on the rehearsal. Maria, happy Thursday. So again, ladies and gentlemen, will you go to a wedding or have a wedding that you have a lap dance? What's that event going on there? A little show.
I honestly, I like when they do like, the organized dances, but like they have to be talented here. Yeah,
Slut
literally.
fest.
That's not attractive. You're just being sexual.
And you better hope that you did a better job than your bridesmaids. I'm just saying. Because if he's looking at the bridesmaid, be like, yeah, that girl moves better than you. There's going to be some issues. Talking about, yo, you can be Kawana over here. She said she was going to cook in the house. Hey, how's your friend?
No, but I don't think you rehearsed that. It's just something.
No, it was rehearsed. They had the steps and they were doing the moves.
Yeah, they definitely.
Yeah, they
practiced.
rehearsed it. They rehearsed it.
I mean, they planned getting like matching outfits.
Yeah, they had matching outfits. Thong. They should have just put
I'm
thong,
telling
thong,
you,
thong,
one
thong.
of them was probably a stripper, and she probably does this.
And those were her stripper friends?
Yeah, so like she was
We didn't take the pole classes for no reason.
That's
probably where he met her at. But
like,
now it's cheaper because, well, not really. But this time he don't have to go like this. He just goes like this with the wallet. So.
He's like, girl, I gave you a ring. You better shake it.
Yeah, you know. That's probably what she said. You want to see me shaking, you better put a ring on it, you know. And instead of doing this, she was shaking the butt, you know.
Legit.
So I don't know.
Oh, my God.
But, again, that destroys kids because
Yeah.
kids are there watching it. So they're going to think, is this proper to do? So that's probably what. Matter of fact, I wonder if that 16-year-old that did the thing on her prom, her 16.
What, if they're related?
Are they related?
Oh, man.
She did it on her sweet 16. She did it on her wedding. Is that her stepmom or her mom? Oh, they're both from the Bronx.
Oh, my God.
But here it says tips to avoid helicopter parents. And that means, the hovering parents. No, but this is all the stuff about.
Well, if you don't hover over your kids, they're going to just become sexual.
They're going to probably be like, oh, be a parent to your kid. But how much parenting can you do for a kid to not mess up their future? And
Right.
this is one of them that you're going to do that probably mess up their future. Be like, yeah, if I know how to shake it, I'm going to get a good man. No, you're not.
No, you're going to get a man who likes to stick it.
That's it. And then that's where the cheating comes in because now this man is going to look for this side for the stuff that you couldn't give him, which is family-wise, business-wise, comfort-wise. You were just the person that he had a sexual fantasy about and wind up getting tricked into marriage. I don't know,
Yeah.
She was like, one day I would like to get married, which is cool, right? But she was doing it while she was shaking her butt. So he couldn't think. He like, yeah, I'll marry you. Like, that's probably what happened. I don't know. I just got a whole story in my head already.
I know. No, but honestly, I feel like being a good parent involves teaching your kid invaluable principles and,
Right.
and teaching, not just like telling them what to do, but just like showing them like a guideline of like how to go through life. Because I feel like a lot of parents don't do that. They just expect, like, once I show you something once, like, that's it. Why you're not doing it right? And they'll
Right.
punish their kids. And it's like, you got to understand they're human. They're growing. They're learning, just like you're learning to parent them.
Right. And a lot of parents say, don't do what I say, do what I do, or don't do what.
That's your favorite one.
Yeah, but if I do what you do, I'm going to have like 17 different baby daddies with 18 kids. I don't know. 20 kids if I'm going to do what you do. You know what I'm saying? So they say lead by example. So
Yeah, some parents don't know how to be a
is
leader.
that the sample you're leaving?
Some don't know how to be a leader.
Be like, listen, if you want to get money, steady, shake your booty, and you get a husband.
Oh, no.
You get that steady, and then you can still shake it in the club and get the little extras.
You
No, the sample that you make is what your child sees.
Yeah. I feel like it's also really important to always encourage your child to learn more and like keep
Oh, yeah.
learning. Because I feel like especially once we get our kids into school, kids resent learning. And you got to teach them that learning is not only academically, it's in everything that you do, you know? And not only that, but if you always keep your mind open to learning, you'll be able to literally expand your abilities within life. Like once you stop expanding, then you're gonna stay stagnant in an area that you just get comfortable to, and then that's that addiction I was saying earlier. Like you're always looking for that same feeling, and you'll do even things that are horrible for you just to get that feeling, right? Like drug
Hey,
addicts.
well, sex is a drug, and you know,
It is. But
I went.
that's not
They
the
wanted
only
me to go
drug.
to one of those sex anonymous things so you can slow down getting sex. But for some reason, when I go there, I always fail.
I wonder why.
One of the reasons why, because my mom said, don't ever be a quitter. So when I go in there, he's like, be firm. It's okay to yell sometimes, but always let them know they are loved.
I disagree with the yelling part. Yelling is
No, heck no.
traumatizing.
You got to shock them into it like, whoa.
That's what I just said. That's traumatizing.
No.
You don't want to traumatize your kid.
It's the same thing with these pet lovers, right? They have this thing, if the dog does something, they got, nyeh. But when the dog goes and touch it again, he will never touch it again, right? So it's just like a kid. If a kid, so, okay, put it like this. The stove is on. There's fire. Hey, don't touch that fire.
Let their ass get
right when
burned.
their hand is close to the fire.
Let their ass get burned, and now he's going, no, not to touch the fire.
No.
You don't got to
No.
yell.
The
Why
first-
waste your breath?
The first one you show them, get your hands off that fire. You know what I'm saying? They get all scared.
I feel bad for whoever was
You know,
wearing headphones.
But then, I know whoever had headphones is, the right side just screw. No, but they'll get scared. Second time, you know, a lot of the Spanish people say, "Quien te digo?" Meaning, who told you? Because they already told you once, don't touch a fire. The second time, I'm burning. Who told you? I told you not to touch the fire, but you went and you touched it. See, at least you gave them that one time scare, but if they didn't learn, now you learned the hard way.
But that's my
Roll,
point.
roll around, you'll be
They
okay.
don't learn from being scared.
Some of them do, some of them don't. I know, right? Spray them in the spray. What I told you. Psst, psst. What I told you. Psst.
Yeah, you could train them that way, I
Right?
guess, right?
You know? Hey, you came running from outside, right? Because you didn't want to get wet. The weather was spraying you in the face, talking about, you know it's raining, get inside. So you had to get inside. You see, it was training you.
It wasn't spraying me. It was pouring on me.
No, but in all sense, you do have to tell them, like, do this, do that. And reputation. Keep saying it, because it gets to your head that when you get older, you're going to be like, wow, I remember that. Let them get hurt, but no yelling. I yell. We're like, no, hurry up, move it, let's go. I should do like a audio of the house. The
Okay.
coffee, the water, the flushing. Hurry up, it's too late. 5 more minutes, let's go, move it, comb the hair. It's like, that's all you hear in the house.
Oh
Like
my
we're in a boot camp. Ready
Sounds
to
like a
get-
circus. Okay,
We're in a
what I
rush.
mean by no yelling and let them get hurt is obviously you have to teach your kid how to communicate in an effective manner, because if you only communicate to them with yelling, I'm not saying you only communicate to them
Right,
with
right.
yelling, but then that's how they are going to communicate to other people. And nobody wants to be yelled at.
No, but see,
Nobody wants to be
the
yelled
yelling is different from, hey, don't go do that. What I told you about doing that, that's still yelling because your voice is still rise a little. But the yelling that they probably talking about is the yelling you do with a friend. What the F I told you? What, boy? Don't be looking at me, boy, like that. I told you. You know what? I'm going to put this Vaseline on. Like, that type of yelling is no good for your kid. Like,
Yeah.
this is your kid, not your friend. You don't need to be putting up your hair bow and putting on some clothes, your sneakers. You ain't fighting this kid. And I hear it a
And
lot.
that's the thing. Some parents don't. All they've been was yelled at, and all they've been was like told, and like always hit, and like always
right.
shown an aggressive form of like guidance, and not a comforting or like loving one. that will want the kid to do the right thing or ask for guidance, you know? The kid doesn't feel comfortable going to them and say, hey, mom, how do I do this? Hey, dad, how do I do this? Instead, they fear the parent because they're like, damn, if I ask them and I ask the wrong question, I'm going to get yelled at, I'm going to get hit. And then it creates a divide with the parent and the kid as the kid gets older.
Half of the time, you know what they said, you spoil the you spoil the kid, right? Half of these kids here are all, running amok around here and doing all this dilly-dally stuff all around. Why? Because their parents cannot yell at them. They cannot say nothing to them. They can't lock them in the rooms. They can't do nothing. That's why all these kids from the 80s and 90s didn't do all this stuff because we were scared of our parents. That we were more scared of our parents than the gangsters. You know what I'm saying? Now it's backwards. You're more scared that I want to join the gang. When I told you you don't tell me what to do, Mom. Dad, I don't even care. If you're an old man, I'll knock you out. You know what I mean? Boy, you're only 4 years old. Who you talking to like this? You know what I mean? Because of that reason. So there has to be, take a little bit of the 80s, where it stopped around 2000. From those kids down, we're not like that. So take something from there and find out what the heck they did that their kids wasn't running like these. As adults, you were getting robbed.
Can I be honest with that?
But the kids, you wasn't.
With that problem, that is the lack of parental guidance.
Ed, here? You don't got no kids.
That's honestly what it is. It's the fact that the parents were not there. They're too busy off with other things, let's say working to provide.
What, back in the days?
Or no. I'm saying
here
now that the kids are doing whatever they want.
You have kids having kids.
That's what I'm saying. It's the lack of guidance and parenting.
I can't say that really because a lot of the people from the 70s and 80s and all the way up to 2000, they say from when the whoever you think of as God or Jesus, whoever, walked the earth all the way until the 2000s, they were having kids young, 15, 16 years old. So I can't say it's because they're young. I think it's, like you said, the lack of parenting in the household. Because remember, there was always a wife or a father that was in the house while the other one works. Yeah. Or, I don't know what happened to, honey, you're working daytime? Okay, I work night. I don't know what happened to that. Now both parents want to work the same hours.
The illiteracy in our culture and the fact that so much information is withheld for people to be prosperous. And now people just think that they will have to give their time to earn a living to survive in this world. And that's not the truth.
Yeah.
But so many people view that as truth.
I tell you this much. If you know, he said, my children got both sides of me. They always knew that they were loved. To this day, they have never given me a problem. Maria said, culture, there's many cases.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I agree. And the culture also goes down to, you got to notice what groups of people this culture includes, right?
Right.
It's usually the minorities. And if you actually look into the definition of minorities, that's the people that cannot advocate for themselves because they are illiterate.
Yeah.
They're not able to communicate in the language of the majority, which would be English here, right?
Right.
And it's a form of control. Is to keep the man out of the house, to keep the main provider out of the house.
Yeah,
it just destroys everything.
I got a statistic that I'm gonna throw out there as soon as I finish this. That is repeating something of what you're saying now, but they're saying gradually give your children space as they get older. It's called get your own house. That's the space I'm gonna give them. You know what I mean?
My mom literally yelled at me yesterday. She was like, "If you don't get the F out, I'm gonna evict you." I was like.
Yeah, because kids need 2 to 3 hours. Well, they say 3 to 4. I say 2 to 3 of outdoors and fun. Why you have them in the house? I know. Oh, because it's not safe outside. Then go out with them. Go to the park. I go to the park. I sit my butt down, and you see me walking around wherever my son is. So wherever you see me, you know my son is like at least 5 feet away from me. Yeah. I don't sit in the bench and start gossiping with everybody else while your kids are running. And then they come with one nose missing and an ear missing, and you don't know why.
The only places not safe outside is places on the news. And those are all past stories of the past.
Yeah, I don't know. And then plus, people that live in the Bronx, it's not safe. You lived here all your life. Have any of these things happened to you? So
no.
The percentage of it to happen is very low. So calm down. I lived here since I was born here, so and then I left and came back. And I'll tell you this much, got robbed once, and it wasn't even my fault.
What?
Because the story was all three of us had a bike. We went into Claremont Park. I seen a bunch of people. I'm not stupid. I see a bunch of people. I don't go that way. So I turned around and went the other way. Here goes my friend trying to get robbed with the bike, and rest in peace, my boy Pete. He said, yo, they robbing Hector. Little Hector, rest in peace, he passed away too. He passes me. So I look back, I see him getting jumped for his bike, so I turned around to go get his bike. Well, stupid me, jumped off my bike to help him and started fighting these guys because I knew martial arts. They took my bike while I was fighting.
Oh my.
And then the key thing, it wasn't even my bike, it was my sister's bike. I was riding my sister's bike.
Bendito.
And to this day, she be like, you owe me a bike, right, Mom? She be like, you owe me a bike. And to this day, And that happened when we were like 16, 17. Like, come on now. She need therapy.
She missed her bike.
She missed her bike. She wasn't riding it. You know what I'm saying? So my boys had a bike. I didn't have a bike at that time. I said, let me ride her bike. But we got it back, though, because one of the guys realized who I was.
Yeah.
Realized who my brothers were, really. And
Nice.
they came and they told where the bike was, and the whole gang went over there. Like, I never seen my brother. Anyway, he had a lot of power at that time. But they got the bike. They got one of the bikes back and the stuff back. But they never got her bike back because they don't know where it went. So, and to this
Damn.
day, she's traumatized.
She is traumatized.
She always tells me that. And my other friend always says we owe her a Barbie dollhouse because we went into her house and messed up her Barbie dollhouse. See, again, back in the days, the fire escapes, right?
Yeah.
We used to go to the fire escape and go into my friend's Pete, which in the 4th floor, to Natasha, who's on the 5th floor. Their windows used to be open. We just climb in and go inside.
I know. You know
and we
how
just
many
used to
people would
play.
get robbed that way?
Well, they couldn't get robbed because the fire escapes were in the front. And if you're going up those fire escapes and you're not one of us, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So people already knew, who's that? Oh, that's Charlie. He's probably going into Peter's house or because we already knew. My door used to be open. They used to come to my house. Hey, Elizabeth, hey. And they used to eat like y'all don't live here. What y'all doing here? You know what I'm saying? I used to come to my house and Peter and Hector's in your room. Why? Like, they don't even live here. They come into my house before me. I'm still coming from school, So that's how it was back in the days, families,
Yeah. It
but
was
now
more
it's not.
community.
Right now it's not. So, they saying that. And then they also say, offer them positive choice. Yeah, either you get this or get this. Which one you want?
No, that's the
not the
point I
positive
was trying to
choice?
take
That's
it
not
to
the
make
positive?
without yelling. You give your kid the options.
Well, I always give the option, but I always give the messed up option and the one that I want you to take.
That's called manipulation.
No, that's called options. You see? That's what she said here. Do options, right? Choices. You got a choice. Either you jump off this roof with no bag in the bottom, or you walk down the stairs. Right? It's a choice. I want you to walk down the stairs. So if you jumped off the roof, that was your bad choice. So, but help you.
Positive.
Oh, well, that is
option.
positive. If you walk down the stairs, you save a life. You save your life. Help your children make their own decisions, which we do that a lot. Every time my son be like, how do you spell this? How you think we spell it? Let's break it down. You tell me. And they, I make them do the decision. And if they can't, then we work it out. But
Yeah.
try first before you come to us.
Yeah.
So these are things that to help your kids with their future. Allow children to make the mistake. That's why I be like, instead of telling them what's 2 + 2, oh, that's 4. That's 4.
Allow
we got
them
a
to
project
touch
to
the
do.
fire.
You got a project to do, and then you wind up doing the whole project for the kid.
Yeah. Not only that, but if you always try to stop your kid from getting hurt, right, the helicopter parent, then they're going to do it behind your back anyways.
Because they want to try it.
Right.
wanna
Everyone's
try.
going to want to try something first, So,
And that's where it comes to allow your kid to make the mistakes. Teach them how to handle problems. Again, when my kid comes, how you spell it, how you do this.
right. That's why
You
it's
know?
important to teach them valuable principles.
Assign chores at and other ages. I didn't understand that. Oh, an appropriate responsibility. My son has his own chores. He gets his own juice, cleans
Yeah.
his own dish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like my wife did some kind of point chart with him. Everything that he does, she don't even say it. We told you already once, this is what you got to do. Now we ain't going to do it. So if you get some points, you get a bonus at the end of the week, and you can do stuff. extra time with a tablet or extra game thing or something,
Aw,
or you
that's
can go to the
nice.
park for longer.
Yeah.
But that's her point system with him.
That's smart. Not only that, but it relieves stress from the parent. Because a lot of times parents will be trying to do everything. They'll be making the lunch for the kids. They'll do all the laundry. They'll do all
Yeah.
the sweeping, the mopping, the bathroom cleaning, the making the bed. And then the parents overwhelmed, and then they'll take that out on the kid instead of just teaching the kid how to do these things themselves.
Right. But not overboard, because it's child labor. Not overboard.
It's not
You-
labor
you-
if they're
you-
cleaning up after
You
themselves.
sitting on the couch talking about, give me the remote, and the remote is right like 2 steps away from you.
No,
You know what
no,
I'm saying?
no.
Come on now. Hey, John, how's it going? Josh Groban, my boy, Chucky Chuck, what's going on, man? Yeah, and then it says offer help, but do not take over. Like I said, with the projects. Like, no, you know what? I'll do the wiring, and then you wind up doing the whole project. Like,
Yeah,
come on now. And then it says continue to be loving and supportive. Yeah, that's so
That's
cute,
important.
the way you dropped that. Like, my son dropped something. I was like, you know why that happened, right? Because you don't pay attention. Pay attention, and that won't happen. Oh, because if you were at the table when you were supposed to be, it would never happen. I let them know the steps why it didn't happen. And then now he be like this, walking, paying attention. And then he looks at me. You better pay attention. I don't play that. Pay attention. And she knows that's why she's laughing. I'm like, no. And she's the one that be like, okay, so let's talk about. What's to talk about? I already told him, heavy up. 20 minutes to do your work. But give him a little, no. Then a little bit of time. You got to remember, in the beginning of how you teach your kid is how they're going to be as an adult. My dad taught me to do everything like this.
Yeah.
Because he told me time is valuable. Not your paycheck. Your time is valuable. So even when he used to tell me, when you get a job and they tell you, hey, come, let's go down this way. How much is that? Oh, that's $40. I get paid $15 an hour, so that's like 2 hours and a half of my time. He always told me, you think about what you're going to buy and what you're going to do as how much hours you got to spend at that job.
Yeah.
And the same thing with the job. Oh, I get so much money, but you take 3 hours to get there and 3 hours to come back. You know what I mean? You got to wake up 2 hours earlier. Add all that time, and you're going to realize that the job that you have doesn't pay you that much.
Yeah.
So that's why I always tell him, heavy, heavy, heavy. And plus, the test that they give you in the school, they only give you 45 minutes to an hour to do a test.
I used to hate taking tests in school.
So
but yeah.
you got to heavy, heavy, heavy. So that's why I keep pushing in his mind, heavy. And then plus now he's learning martial arts, and everything is fast when you learn the martial arts. It's a trigger. It's not, oh, he's throwing a punch. Let me see. This is a 45-degree this way. And you don't got time for that. You already got hit 3 times. So, things like that, you have to teach your kid and always repeat yourself. I know a lot of people, I'm tired of repeating myself. No, constantly repeat yourself, because that one moment he sees those guys walking down the street, he's going to be like, he's going to hear my voice. I don't care how dressed they look, how they act. If their body language tells you it's different, walk the other way. He's going to know this.
Yeah.
Safety. He's going to walk the other way. It's not prejudice. It's not bias. It's not nothing. It's safety.
Yeah.
I do it to the white people. If I see a bunch of white teenagers acting up in the corner, I'm going around. Because either they're going to try to attack me or I'm going to wind up in jail. Either way, something's going to happen. Because I'm going to have to kill one of them, and they're not going to say I was in self-defense because I'm Latin
Yeah.
and they're white. So it's not self-defense. So go around. Avoid the problem. So avoiding problems is the one thing a lot of the adults are not teaching kids. Not only avoiding problems, see, that's why it happened because you didn't do this and this and that. You know what I mean? Oh, why you did that? Give me the damn thing. And then, but you didn't explain to the kid why.
Yeah.
So that's why I tell my
The
kid,
kid
you didn't
don't
pay
even
attention.
know.
Yeah, you didn't pay attention. You know why that happened? Because you were supposed to be sitting down. And when you didn't say sitting down, you open up. Now you got to reap, your consequences. And that's what I keep telling him. So he knows. The other day, I was so proud of him. His mother was like, no, you don't do this. He said, Dad, they were being bad in school at lunchtime, and my teacher said we all have to write an apology to the lunch teachers, to the lunch people. And he said, I was going to write one, but I was going to say, I'm sorry that they were bad, because I wasn't. And I was so proud. I was like, yes, my son. She was like, no, you don't say that. You don't say that. And she told him a big thing, a nice way just to say what we just said.
Yeah.
But she wanted to go the nice, long way. No, we don't got time for that. It wasn't bad. I'm sorry that you had to deal with these bad kids. You know what I'm saying? He said, right, Mama? He said he was going to write a letter like that. I was like, oh, my God, my baby boy's grown up.
They're not bad kids. They did something bad.
That makes them a bad kid.
No, it doesn't.
No.
They don't make a terrible kid, but they did a bad thing. So
It
a
doesn't
criminal
make
is
you
not
a
a
bad
criminal,
person.
but he just did a criminal thing for the one time.
No,
He's still a criminal.
The fact that he's identifying as a criminal is what makes him assume he could continue to do
Exactly.
bad choices. But if you separate the identity of the bad from the person,
the-
So that one
they will
person-
know, oh, wait, I can make good choices because I'm not a bad person.
Okay, but that one person that did a criminal thing, wind up in jail, came back, and now his life is real good. He's doing perfect. He's still considered a criminal,
Well, that's the society.
right?
Society
So that's why I'm
ca-
saying. That's why they
Well,
say
you don't
bad
have
kids.
to
I
see
understand what you're
yourself
saying.
at the same thing. That's what
I
we're
understand what you're saying.
saying.
Like, just say they did a bad thing. So I told them, I said, yeah, you can say, you know, that I'm sorry that those kids did a bad thing, but I didn't. And I'm sorry that I had to write this letter. I was telling him. And he said, yeah. So now he's becoming one of those kids that I told the teacher from the beginning, if you tell him what color is this, he's going to say red, blue, black, whatever color. He ain't going to say, oh, it's plum cherry or plum. No, he's going to come with straight answers.
Yeah.
Right? If you ask him something, he's going to come with straight answers. So if you tell him, write a letter apologizing, he's going to apologize what he said.
Yeah.
I'm apologize I wasn't one of those kids.
No, you said that they have a school app. So they sent the same thing saying the kids did something bad to the lunch lady, so they have to do apologies and stuff, whatever. You know, he said,
Put your mic up.
he said, Mama, you know what? If I would reply to that and say, it's not all kids, it's just some of the kids.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Don't say all the kids. Like I tell them, I said that some of the words, I teach them, some of the words that people use are exaggeration mode.
Yeah.
And he was like, that's an exaggeration mode because it wasn't all the kids because I wasn't not one of them. You know what I mean? Like, so we teach them about that, like how to divide yourself, how to not feel like you're supposed to be part of that bucket,
Right.
of that crab bucket type of thing. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like, no, if you know you wasn't bad, stand up for your rights. I wasn't bad, so why do I have to suffer? This ain't a team thing, you know? This is a class. There's no I in class, and there's no team in the class, right? I don't see, it's CLAS. Matter of fact, half of them was the last letter, the last three letters of the word. So why do I got to be punished?
I knew it was coming.
You know? Now, if you're in a basketball team or something, like in a sports team, one does it, they all. Like, you know, when I used to teach martial arts, it was like one came late, y'all all came late. So after a while, they learned the responsibility of having other people's on you, too. Like, oh, man, I'm not going to be late because if I'm late, then I'm responsible for everybody doing push-ups, you know?
Yeah.
So that was the thing. But in a class, no.
Makes you more considerate.
Yeah, so that means if I pass my test, everybody pass their test? No, it doesn't work that way, right? So then I don't need to write a letter then. That's how I felt. That's how I felt. I don't know. That's why my teachers never bothered me when I was in school because I was always like that since I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I was always common sense type of kid. And maybe that was wrong. Maybe, I don't know. Some people call it sarcastic. I just called it common sense. I don't know. I just, you know, like, where you from? From my mother. Like, what were you trying to? And then they get mad at me because I gave them the right answer. Right? If they ask you where you from, what automatically you say?
I usually say Puerto Rican.
Exactly. I'm from Puerto Rico. No, you're not. You're from your mother. You were born over there, you know, or you were born here. I make them keep asking me until they ask the right question. Okay, where's your background at? Which one? This one or the one in my house? Like, which background you want to know? You know what I'm saying? Where your nationality?
Yes.
Oh, your nationality.
I do appreciate being like specific.
Right, nationality. Okay, now we're talking. Now we're on the same page because there's no confusion of what I'm going to, you know, tell
Yeah.
you. So that's why I tell him, always speak clearly so there's no confusion of what you're trying to tell a person. And that comes from, like what you were talking about a couple weeks ago, communication.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. A lot of people go around what they really want to try to say. Do you want to leave me? Well, it's not the point that I really wanted. Yes or no? You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to go around it. So communication is part of teaching the kids. You know?
Yeah.
What else you think kids need for a better future?
Oof. honestly, we need kids to actually communicate with other kids, like not on Roblox, like in person. And the problem with public school is that you're you're usually uncomfortable because those other kids traumatize you. You know, you're forced to be around them. You're not around kids that you actually enjoy being around. So I feel like it's important because then kids become more creative when they're around kids their age. And not only that, but it helps them to grow and expand their mind when you're more creative.
Right.
And you know, being on tablets all the time, watching TV, it blocks that creativity and it doesn't let them grow and
The
they become
communication,
more
yeah.
dependent.
Hmm.
I suggest, you know, letting your kid be a kid and not just, you know, letting the TV babysit them.
Yeah, that's true. That's why we have our kid in school. Because if it wasn't for learning how to communicate with other kids or play with kids, he would not be there. He'd be homeschooled.
Yeah.
But we need him to communicate with other kids. And, you know, we teach him our ways and stuff like that, business-like. Like he, you know, he tells the teachers basically, this is this and this and that. And the teachers will tell him, like, okay, hold your hands like this all the time. And then the teacher's doing this. He'll tell them, didn't you tell us all to hold our hands like this? Like, that's how.
Yeah, in tune he is.
Yeah, so.
Last suggestion is keep your kids away from sugar. Sugar is
Sugar? No, you
the
need them,
worst
boy.
drug
They're not going to clean their room with no sugar.
possible.
You got to give them the sugar so they can clean the room and then vacuum and all that. They need to run around. So, no, but you do need sugar, though. You can't tell them to keep away from sugar because especially men.
Not processed sugar.
No, especially men. When they outside, they running, they're doing this. Their metabolism it goes so quick, they need something to put in. That's why some of them kids are like me. I was 145 for so freaking many years, and I used to eat plates and never got fat because I was always, you know, females, unless you were into sports, but a lot of females, their thing doesn't kick into what, 40? That's when you start seeing a lot of the 41s getting weight. Men, not until they like 50, that's when you see them gaining weight. Like, you know, unless they push themselves to gain the weight. But if they don't push themselves, no matter what, when they 50, they really got to do more work than they did when they were young. But a female, hers is more like 30s and 40s. That's why you see a lot of the 30-year-old females get fat. And you're like, but you eat the same amount that you ate before. So
Well, yeah, your metabolism changes
yeah, it
as you
changes.
age.
So that's why I say like sugar for a male is energy. Now, when you get bigger, that's when you don't need it because now you need your body to fight for you. So, but we were just talking about brown sugar crystals. So those help as well too. We're gonna try that out because they say that it's way better than processed sugar and all that.
Anything is better than processed
Yeah.
sugar.
Yeah, so
Don't. Stay
Yeah.
away from delis too. Delis
But
are
again-
just cancer stores.
yeah, again, if you're gonna do a wedding, Turk wedding and thing, let us know. We got Will and that got myself that we're in the media, so we can record it.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
Not interested?
Not
No.
interested.
Don't send me to no Sweet 16 and talking about can you record this and they Turking. No, I'll leave. I think I would be like, yo, shut the cameras off. Give them their money back because I'm not being part of this perversion thing that you got going on here.
Yeah, that's sadistic.
So, I'm done. We got a name to protect. But other than that, guys, stay tuned. I know I said I was going to send some, give you our free tickets, but we're still waiting for the amount to come up so we can give these free tickets. So remember, check us out, ldmnetwork.net, for all the information about all the events that we're having, the comedy.
Tomorrow
And
we're
then
having an
tomorrow,
event.
if you want to be in Queens, check us out. We're going to be doing an open mic or listening to the LDM radio to hear these people on the open mic. So we'll check you out tomorrow. Check you out tomorrow, but we'll watch the show of the LDM show next Thursday, 6 o'clock. She'll be here by 6:15.
Bye, guys.
See ya.